Thank you. And we've got a bunch in the room as well. Looks like at least two of them. You have a microphone. Go for it. Hi.
Hi, I was at Comic-Con yesterday, so your panel and screening, it was great. Kennedy, I love that your friend stood up and asked you how drastically your journey had changed over the last year. It was very inspirational. And it sounds like you're destined to be Nancy Drew, so good luck.
Thank you so much.
My question is, you're on a mystery show, right? So people are ghost hunters for a living or private investigators for a living. Do you think that's a crazy career choice now that you're sort of in that world a little bit?
No crazier than that of an actor, probably.
Yeah, that's true. No, I think that there's a lot, especially with private investigators and detectives and things like that. I think that's a very honorable career choice. As for ghost hunters, you know, before I started filming this show, I had not a jot of information about the supernatural world. I was like, nothing, probably. And then we started filming in this abandoned mental institution, and absolutely filled with ghosts. Absolutely am a believer
That'll
now.
change your mind real fast.
It did. It absolutely has. And so now I do believe, yeah, you could be a ghost hunter, and I would give you credit for that.
And stuff's going on without having to get into every story and every detail. But yeah, there feels as though there are sort of supernatural energies of our own, sort of touching this production and people within it in various ways that your rational mind goes, well, that's just a coincidence. Right. But your Nancy Drew mind is like, no, that's something else. I don't want to derail this whole thing, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask, what was the scariest thing while you were in the abandoned mental institution?
Well, Leah Lewis, who plays George, and I were there together that night, and we were in the cast green room, which was just an old hospital room, and it's like all these barred windows, and we were just sitting there, and this door to the room out into the hallway it was open all day, propped open, and for like the last 12 hours, and we were sitting in there waiting in between setups, and this bell just started going off. It was like ding, ding, ding. And we were like, odd. And then the door went, and we went, oh, so this is what's happening. And then we went out and looked out the barred windows out onto the front lawn, and our entire crew was gathered out there on the lawn. And we were like, so somebody didn't tell us something important. And so then we heard this like, boom, 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 boom. That didn't make the sound I wanted it to. I heard this like pounding out in the hallway, and I was like, Leah, it's been really fun. I guess this is it. And it was one of the PAs that was like, you have to get out of here. But the door was locked on both sides, and it'd been working all day long. And we were like, what's going on? And we couldn't get it unlocked, and they couldn't get it unlocked. And we were like running down the hall. I was crying. I was crying. I was absolutely crying.
You should be.
Leah was holding strong. I was a mess. And
You have to hold it down.
yes, it was her. She was taking one for the team. We like ran to the staircase, and it looked, there's like one going, we were one floor up from the ground level. And we went, and there was like one leading up, and then like around a corner that would be leading down. And we went, and it was closed off. And we were like, why is this happening to us? We could not find an exit. And eventually that door got unlocked somehow, and we made it out, and it was a fire alarm, and it was because of our atmospheric smoke. But it was definitely a ghost that closed the door.
I love that little asterisk at the end. It was
Just don't think about that part. Just think about the cool part before.
What were you gonna say, Scott?
Well, no, that location is definitively
It
haunted.
There are so many stories about that particular, because a lot of shows film there.
Okay.
They got a lot of stories. Yeah.
Crazy. Then also like well, they're just like little weird things that are just these aren't supernatural things, but they're just cosmic-y type things where you're like, okay, something. Basically, long story medium, my autobiography. I got sent a bunch of books. My wife's friend sent me like a stack of Nancy Drew books that she found in Maine. The fictional Horseshoe Bay town in Maine is in this little store, sees a bunch of Nancy Drew books, knows I'm on the show, sends us the books. Buys the whole shelf worth. I open the box. I'm standing with my son. I'm in my kitchen, pulling them out. Oh my God, look how cool. Bunch of like reissues, and then a couple of originals, like grainy covered, old. And I opened the first original, and the little girl who owned the book wrote her name in it, Kennedy. Get out. No way. I was like, what? And my son was like, what? I was like, I can't talk to you right now. I have to send somebody a video. So I sent her and our producers a video. But it was like, these are just the little things where coincidence, sure, but no. But also, whoa. Yeah.
That is wild.
Kennedys are floating around out there.
Not a lot.
We've got time. Kate Stelmach.